Hey, friend, welcome back to the Kingdom Life Unfiltered. If you haven't listened to episode one, make sure to go back. You can hear a little bit more about the deeper parts of my testimony and just really how God brought me from barely surviving to kind of living this wild and free life. Not that it's perfect, but just so grateful from where I was to where we are now and the journey that He has me on. And so I want to really take today to kind of unpack a little bit, a layer deeper into a little bit of my health journey, because it's not about wellness or looking a certain way. Our health is really about obedience and freedom and being able to be fully available to what God is calling us to. I want to share how God completely flipped the script on how I saw my body and health, how He led me very unexpectedly to these made from nature cell communicators that I use today and the business that we now share as a family as well. But if there's one thing that I want you to take away today, let it be this. Your health is not a side hobby or an afterthought. It needs to be a priority because it's really a kingdom assignment. When we don't feel our best, when we're, maybe tired or foggy or overwhelmed, or we're struggling with, autoimmune issues or any kind of health struggles, it's so much harder to step fully into the things that God has called us to do. And so I'm so passionate about this because I have had so many issues in the past. I want to be super honest here because, I had shared last episode just some of the things that I did when I was a teen and just, I really abused my body in a lot of different ways. And coming from so much trauma and abuse and so many different traumas in my life, then it really caused a lot of damage. And even though I used to think like I'm doing okay, I know how to eat healthy, I worked at Whole Foods back in high school. So I thought, I was always trying different diets and I was pretty crunchy. I did lots of different cleanses and like thousands of different supplements. But inside, I didn't feel good. And so part of that was all because I was trying to feel better. And over the years, I have, had autoimmune issues and like thyroid, Hashimoto's, and I struggled with my gallbladder. I actually had to have it removed, and man, did I fight hard for that one, but I was not able to win. And so many different just challenges along the way. And honestly, when around last year, I was really frustrated because I had stubborn weight. I hit perimenopause, and it was like a whole new wave of health things started popping up, and I could not figure out what to do. The weight would not budge. It didn't matter how much I moved, how much I ate. I was exhausted, like needing a nap by 2 p.m. and still waking up tired. And just my cortisol levels were through the roof. My hormones were a mess. My moods were not great. And I felt like my brain was just filled with cotton. I don't even know how to explain it. I would be talking to Jay or the kids. I would just lose my words mid-sentence. It was like I would feel so overwhelmed by all the things going on too. And it was my adrenals. My adrenals were shot. And, as a mom of five, homeschooling, traveling the world, running businesses, just trying to be present, I was barely surviving. And the craziest part was I thought, well, it's just normal, right? Like it's perimenopause. This is just what happens. But one day I felt God really pressing on me, and He kept telling me, like, you're asking me for energy and for vision and for strength, but you're not taking care of the vessel I gave you. And oh man, it was like a holy gut punch. I realized that I had been treating my health as optional. I thought I would get to it one day instead of seeing it as something sacred, something that mattered to my calling. And yeah, maybe I was, crunchy and eating the right things, but I didn't know how to properly fuel my body. And I wasn't really doing the things that were going to heal me and help me on a cellular level. I was masking a lot of things. And so, one thing I want to share with you today, as we step into this, is stewardship is obedience, not vanity. I used to think that taking care of myself or working out was like selfish because as a mom, there's this like unspoken expectation that we just give, 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 and that taking time for ourselves somehow makes us, less devoted. And especially when I started stepping into the space of working online, I thought, well, gosh, now I don't have time for that. It's just like another thing. But the truth is that when we are strong and well, we can pour out more love, more patience, we can serve better. And so when I started shifting my mindset to see my health as stewardship, I started feeling less guilty and just more empowered. And I realized I wasn't just doing it for me, I was doing it for my family, for my ministry, and for my mission. And sometimes, and trusting God before the details make sense. And this part of the story is wild to me. But as I was kind of praying for a solution and just kind of getting frustrated and, something real, like something that really worked because I had tried everything. I had done all the things, but then God led us to this space and listen, I was so hesitant because first off, it came unexpectedly. Like it came in the form of a business opportunity. And I wasn't looking for a business opportunity. I was doing just fine in digital marketing. We were doing well. And, he led me to this new business. And I was like, but I didn't want to do products. This wasn't what I was looking for. Like I wasn't also the ingredients weren't even out yet. And I'm such a stickler on ingredients. I'm kind of an information junkie. I research everything and I have to like know everything that's in something before I take it. Like you should see me at the grocery store as we're traveling around the world and with my Google Translate trying to read ingredients. I can tell you what sucralose looks like from, almost all of the different places or MSG or whatever, because I'm always looking at this. But God kept nudging me. This was before the products even launched. And I just felt him really like pushing me to do this. And I was like, all right, Lord, I trust you, but like I'll do it. Like, so it was basically out of obedience. I was like, all right, fine. Like, I'll step into this. And so we started the pre-enrollment phase and, the science did make sense. I was like, okay, I get it. These aren't supplements. So I was grateful that it was like not just another supplement, but they're cell communicators and then when the ingredients list came out, I was actually shocked. I was like, all right, like I knew I should trust you, but it was really cool because they are so clean and so powerful and so well sourced and they do line up and it's really hard to like line up for me because I'm such a researcher. And so even as I got them, I still like kind of dug a little deeper. I'm like, all right, but let me just make sure. And so what I learned though is that, they're peptides. They're made from nature. There's something that is like kind of really unique because they're smaller than a protein, but larger than, they're a chain of amino acids, but smaller than the chain of a protein. They're actually the only true cell signaling molecules that we know of, which means they don't just add nutrients to your body and just dump them in and hope that it does what it says it's going to do or doesn't make your body stop producing that nutrient that it may or be already produces, but it actually tells your cells what to do. They work like these like little messengers in the body. We actually have peptides in the body that do this, but these ones are natural. They're made from nature. They're not synthetic like some of the stuff, some of the different pharmaceutical peptides, where you have to like get shots and stuff, which I don't touch needles, so it would not work for me. But it really tells your body to repair and rebuild and function just the way that it was designed to do, the way that God made our body. And so the more research I did, I was blown away. And I truly believe that these bioactive peptides are like next level. They're the future of health and wellness because they address the root. They don't just dump in more vitamins, they guide your body to create cell regeneration for it to heal and restore itself versus just masking or trying to, take something that may or may not be absorbed, let alone do what we hope it's going to do, right? So, as the products started coming in and people began to share their stories and their testimonies, I really started to see why God led us here. And it was not what I was looking for, but I'm grateful to be a part of it and grateful to be able to help people. And it worked. Not only for me, I, lost, 16, 17 pounds in the first 2 months, 17 inches overall. The brain fog lifted, my energy came back, my adrenals felt like nourished, and my cortisol levels plummeted in a way to where I actually was surprised. I was like, I didn't know people could feel like this. I didn't even know that this was a thing to feel this kind of calm thing. It was not something I'd ever felt before. And my hubby, Jay, he lost 36 pounds and, finally felt like clear and focused. He, had some success with like his ADHD and stuff. And so it was kind of like God being like, see, I knew what I was doing, and he always does. But anyways, your story is your ministry. And it wasn't even something that I really planned on sharing on this, but I just felt so called to do so. And I had so many different fears that people would, think of me like sharing products because I've always been really into helping people, with their mindset and personal growth and Christ-centered and biblical leadership. I'm a biblical leadership coach. And that was really my heart. And then even in digital marketing, I was excited to help people, go after their dreams. And so when God was like asking me to share this health product, I was feeling a little hesitant about it. But he reminded me of something that, he really uses our testimonies as ministry and uses that to help others, and how important it is that we share that, and but also that we step into stewarding our health better. And I don't know about you, but like when we go to church, like some of my boys, they are, gluten sensitive or they have ADHD. So like if you give them food dyes, you're not gonna really like their behavior. And we step into church sometimes and they've got donuts and candy and all these different things. And gosh, I just like want to I would love to see that shift in this time of like can't we have fruit? Like fruit is so good and so good for you, And I feel like like my kids would be just excited if you brought out some strawberries or something. So it's something that I do feel like in the world of believers, it is something that I would like to see change and something shift into, yeah, let's have potlucks, but like let's like have the foods that God made, right? Like the things that aren't processed and the things that are healthier for us. And so anyways, when we started sharing this, before we even had like our full transformation, like people started messaging, just saying like you look different and, what are you guys doing? And that's when I realized it's really not about me. It's not about weight loss. It's not about a product. It's about giving people hope that they don't have to stay stuck, that God cares about every part of us, mind, body, spirit, that it's all important to him. And so, what I didn't expect as we started to share was that people wanted to join us, not to try the products only, but to share them too. And, Make Wellness isn't just a supplement company. It's honestly the best affiliate opportunity I've ever seen. The culture is like nothing I've ever experienced. It's really a team that truly leads with integrity, founders that like are down to earth, that love and honor people and put people first, and a corporate team that actually, cares about our mission. And like I've seen a lot of them, and these are like industry giants, like get teared up on stage about like what we're doing here. And so it's really beyond that, giving us a way to create that that residual income and give us the freedom to travel, to say yes to mission work, to spend more time as a family, to be home together with the boys and homeschool them together and to invite others to do the same. Because I want to see more families be able to do that. Whether or not you want to travel or homestead or whatever it is that God has put on your heart, to be able to do that, but then also to be able to be together as a family unit. So, whether you're looking to heal your body and just feel like yourself again, or you're praying for a new way to provide for your family and to make an impact, there's a place here for you. And I just want to encourage you, even if it's something that you're feeling nervous about. Like when God first asked me to step into the online space, I swore I would never speak on camera and I would not take selfies. And there were like so many things that I swore I would never do. And I was so, but here's the thing. God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. And so you just have to be willing and be obedient to take that step. So, friend, if you're listening and you're feeling that tug and it's time to finally take care of your health or maybe step into a new kind of mission, then I want to invite you to reach out. Let's chat. You can message me on Instagram at Life with the Marinos. You could check out the link below. On my website and on my YouTube page, I'll have some videos that kind of break down each of the peptides, what they do, why I love them, how they can help you with different things. I'll also include links below so that you can learn more. If you are like me and you like to nerd out on the science, I'll have that in there too. Because I truly believe that God is raising up this generation to be strong and healthy and just fully available to run after their callings. And I want that for you too, even if you're in perimenopause, even if you feel like it's too late. I just want you to really be able to thrive in every area of your life. So, thank you for spending time with me today. Your health matters. So, remember that because your calling matters, you really need to make sure that you are optimized and you can, step into that. So, love you so much. And I can't wait to see you thrive. I'll leave you with this verse today. It says, therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and let us run with perseverance the race that is marked out for us. That's Hebrews 12:1. All right. I'll see you soon, friends.